Put my helmet on properly. Oh, there we go. Yes, my Viking Age conspiracy theory helmet. Let's see. Let's see who tunes into this one. Yeah, I dug out my old trusty hat here. Oh, I have to go over here and type. Hello, yes. One Coco 64. Hello, Kevin W. I'm just going to finish typing my message here. There we go. Dutch line prepping. Good evening, good day, and good day, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be in the world. So I was really going to plan on doing a live stream today. I was working on the blacksmith shop for quite some time after work today. I purchased another trailer full of boards this morning before work, early up, rise and shine. And I had to unload those short notice. My buddy Chris said, hey, you can help me pick up the pond liner. That thing weighs like 100 pounds. And that was super heavy. Hello, David Pierce. Greetings from Oregon. Yes, greetings from Germany. Glad to see you. Hello, Curtis Miller. And let's see, we got sorry can't stay on my way out the door. Oh, no problem. That's not a problem at all. I wasn't even planning to do a live stream today. Like I was just explaining, I was working late at the camp a little bit, and I just came home from shopping and unloading the car and feeding Prince. And now I just sat down and was like, let me see who shows up. So normally it's around 8:30. But I'm glad you stopped by. Nice to see you, and I'll catch you later. So Kenny Parrots, welcome. How you doing? Glad to see you. Yeah, I just got to sit down, finally, home, finally. And I thought I'd put a little ye old helmet. Yeah, it's pretty hot. I put it on, it's cooking my brain. Start thinking conspiracy theory. Viking Age conspiracy theory. Let's see. What can we come up with? 2:27 in Louisiana. Cool. That's in the afternoon. Okay, cool. At that time, I was sitting at my work desk contemplating on how to fix my no internet problem. Prince, what are you doing? Yeah, he's being silly in front of the fireplace. I got to watch. Sometimes he lays in front of the fireplace so long, you can't touch him. He's like it feels like he's on fire. So I have to like force him to go lay somewhere else or put him in the next room, like go out there. Because he just lays, I don't know how he does it. He must like that somehow, but I think that's way too hot. Sometimes he'll steam, like when we come in from outside and he'll lay in the fire. It'll look like I don't know. It's really weird. Skull. My guitar is kaput. My guitar is kaput. Oh, that's awesome. Dutch line prepping. You had a lovely day in the forest today. Family visited you. You cooked some vegan burgers in the wood stove. That sounds like a great day. I had quite a great day myself. I just kind of had a lot of stressful. I got up this morning and I had no service on my phone. And for my job, I need to be online like 100% of the time. So, and I had no internet and no communication, and I couldn't do anything with my mobile YouTube, which I could deal with if I didn't have all this people waiting on me on the other end to call them and tell them what to do. So I had to go and run around and get a new phone number for temporary. Oh man, what a stressful morning. I got all that stuff done around 2 in the afternoon here. I was down at my desk, actually just sitting down for lunch finally. Made by Wayland the Smith. Yeah, didn't he make Excalibur? I like that story. I've been doing some research on that. It's a really cool story. The berserker eating mushrooms. That's awesome. I like that. And that reminds me, I really do. What's fascinating, since Berserker Gang 2019, kind of the name of my channel, not to say, but just to mention it, I was always really fascinated with the concept of the Viking berserker, and was, what are you doing? Hey, give that Platz. Give that Platz. Yeah, and I was always really so fascinated with the Viking concept of the berserker, due to the fact that it's just something that I just couldn't stop reading about, and very fascinating. And it also goes into a very deep direction too, if you start to really read about it. And there's a lot of it's not as fascinating and fabulous as most of the fables talk about. It's a really dark thing, actually. It's a really dark and bloody topic. And mushrooms, yes, were an interesting topic. I was going to make a video on Amanita muscaria, fly argaric, I think you could call that in English, or Fliegenpilz in German. And I was just going to make a video on every year. I have these most beautiful, they're literally, they're this tall, and they have a hat like this. They grow in the forest quite a bit down from the Viking camp every year, and I miss the time of the year every year, but I know where they are, because I know there's only one spot here they grow, and I find them when I'm metal detecting or collecting tree sap, because it's sort of in like a pine area where I go to get tree sap a lot. There's a lot of real old trees that really give some good sap. They have some real nice cracks that always pop open during the cold and during the heat. And so they really have these like baseball size oozing, just a lot of sap there. So, and that's in that area. So let me see what we got here. So I was going to really do a video on that, would you be telling mushrooms, and and so I really was interested in the fascination of the topic berserker. And in German, going berserk, the term going berserk in the Viking Age was Berserkergang, or that's how we pronounce it in German. I'm sure in Norway it's a little bit different, in Sweden. But so I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I had to put a number behind it, because I guess somebody already had that. So I was just like, what year is it? It was 2018, actually, when I started the idea. And I didn't really start filming videos until 2019. And so that's where I changed it to 2019, and it kind of stuck around like that. And it's kind of catchy now. I think I like that. So it's been it's the name of the channel, and it's become a thing, I guess. So what we got here? Hello, Nick. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Morning. Hello, Greg. How are you? That's awesome. Yeah, well, this is kind of a joke. I don't know if you've caught a couple of our older live streams. This is actually like a protest against cancel culture and cancel culture against the Viking Age. And I made this helmet out of an itch of just a joke kind of thing, and it's become a thing. And that's why I have this on from time to time, to demonstrate that I support the Viking Age and archaeological evidence, and not any lobbying and falsifying of history to support a narrative that is anti Viking Age genome. Let's put it that way, the genetics. And so they're trying to destroy and erase and rewrite history the way they'd like to have it. And that's not quite okay with me. So we got Dutch line prepping. Hey, Stone Wolf Outdoors. Did I see you there? Ah, there you are. Welcome. Hello. Yes. And Oerfolk, henbane. That's a really interesting plant because I have read about it. And here's this funny story. You know, if you've been following my channel, we do go out to the construction sites that my buddy has, and because he has all these mounds of dirt that sit for a very long time, they grow random plants. I mean, just randomly they're from different areas of wherever. And there was a henbane growing on there, and I didn't know it. And I think, if I'm correct, that henbane was a plant that was now considered to be the substance consumed by the Viking berserkers for them to go into this trance-like rage. And it's one of the newer theories now versus the fly agaric, because that's more of a, all the side effects really make you sick, and you don't want to go into battle throwing up all over the place. But there's a theory about how they filtered out all the things by having one guy drink all the disgusting stuff, and then they drank his urine. I don't know. So that's kind of weird. Pooh Bear's over there relaxing in front of the fire. Yeah, but henbane. So we were out digging some flowers and plants and trees out of the random dirt pile to save them because they look pretty cool. And then we take them home and take the picture app and look them up on Wikipedia, and we have books. If they're anything cool, we keep it. Sometimes we just there's some poisonous or something. And then I had this thing sitting at my camp, and it stunk up the whole. I mean, it was a disgusting smell. It was just something that made me sick just to smell it. And the dogs would go near it. I was like, I kept keeping the dogs away from it. And it was this plant with these big stalks and these white flowers, and they had these little, I think they had these yellows. The white flowers had another color on them. I can't remember. It was yellow, like a little yellow stripe or something. And that plant stink like, I think it was dead. I don't know. But that was a henbane. And I threw it out. And after we figured out what it was, we kind of regret it because we were like, whoa, that's cool. That might be one of those. We do research on it and do a video about it. But maybe this year we'll be able to find some again. And I will specifically, very carefully harvest that plant and put it in a pot where it won't rot and where the dogs can't eat it, or where Pooh Bear can't get to it. And we'll make a video about it. And I'll do some research for you guys. And maybe that'll be a cool video. And no, I'm not going to eat it. Yes, Nick. Yeah, I think mushrooms have... we have lost the entire knowledge of what medicinal mushrooms can actually do. I mean, as far as curing cancers and mental health issues and healing and doing things with depression and skin disorders, I think we have lost over 95% of the knowledge that we used to have in the Germanic tribes through different reasons, of course. And but I think mushrooms is also a topic, though, that you have to be extremely careful about, because on the one side, mushrooms is one of the positive attributes, and the same mushroom can have 10 deadly side effects versus the one thing that it may be good for in a certain dose. And so that's the thing. We've lost all of that knowledge, and now we're just rediscovering this with our modern sciences. And of course, once modern science discovers a great breakthrough in some organic health, in some organic food or in some organic plant or whatever, they, of course, they either put it in an evil light, or they don't publish it because they want the pharma to rule the markets, and they don't want people going out healing themselves with herbicides. Yeah, with herbal treatments and natural remedies. So that's a really the thing there. But we do have, what's cool about now modern age times is a lot of private people are actually let me fix this. That better? Yeah, it looks a little bit better. A lot of private research companies are actually doing research with these kind of things in the medicine world. And when they publish their papers, it's harder for the lobby to silence them. And yeah. So let's see what we got here. I might make a full set of tinfoil armor. Oh, that's pretty cool, and go on a raid. Actually, I was going to ask the lady at the supermarket if we could film like a reel on like raid the supermarket. Hey, but I don't want to, have the police show up. Maybe we might do something like that this summer. Scare all the old people to death. That would be bad. Liam the Gill, welcome. Yeah, it's Stone Wolf Outdoors. It's just been an up and down ride for me. I wasn't when I started out, I wasn't really planning to go anywhere with this channel. Oh, 1 second, Prince. Pooh. Auf den Platz. He's scratching his ears. I can't let him do that. It gets so bad that I have to clean them every week. If you get infected, it was fine. Hey, hey. Alfred. Pooh. He may have a tick. I have to check that later. He may have a tick on his ear. So where do we leave off here? Yeah, the channel. And yeah, it just kind of was a fun idea, and it's become part of my life now. And at some point, it's really depressing to see you work your ass off and you turn the YouTube on like a couple days later, and it seems like it just did 3 steps backwards. And it's like, what is this? Or YouTube comes out with a new change and 200 subscribers gone and 403 steps backwards. And it's like, what is this? Or YouTube comes out with a new change and 200 subscribers gone and 400 watch hours. And it's like, okay, this is just YouTube. This is not me. And every time you get to a milestone, it seems like they chop it down. So that's how it seems to me. But, it's a lot of negative things have been happening here lately in my life. And I'm starting to pick up that momentum again, where I can start to really put out, work on building back up my energy. My energy has been, I have no more. So I have to find something to motivate me to get back into the positive outlook on things, and it's not that easy. But all said, I've got little Prince over here keeping me on my toes. He sticks his mouth in the water bowl to drink. He doesn't drink. He just sucks up all the water in his beard. Geh auf der Platz. Then he comes over here and he wants to soak me. Now I got water all over the couch. That's great. Thank you, Prince. Geh auf der Platz. Up. Yeah, so what we got here? A perfect example. Yeah, and it's kind of like a pun too, Nick. I think you're right. It's like our little gang here, a gang of great-minded, awesome people. Our berserker gang. I guess it's kind of like a little pun. It's all of us here, all of you guys together. And I'm really happy about I'm really glad and thankful for having all you guys here. That's really something that makes me want to keep going. I have had some moments where I was hovering over that button where I just wanted to become a ghost and just disappear. And yeah, but like I said, this is part of my life, and I've been working on. I have great goals, and this is a journey. It's a really bumpy ride. And I'm investing all of my time and energy into it to make it, worthwhile for me and worthwhile for you guys. So it's really a tough balance, but it's a learning process, and grateful for all of you guys' support. And I gotta say that you guys know that I appreciate that you guys are there. Stone Wolf Outdoors. I've made many shields, and I would like to make many more. I have all the shields that I own. I made myself. That was the thing, really what started my interest in making things, and versus becoming a blog channel where I just sit and talk to people all day, which not that good at. I don't have a studio. Well, my studio, yes, I do. I have a Viking studio now, which is really nice. Once I have the blacksmith shop up, it'll be quite awesome. But shields, That's a topic for itself because I've done a lot of research on shields, and I've come to the conclusion that there's a lot of new research just recently coming out with what do you call it, living history groups that are trying new things. And since most of the real Viking Age shields had a lot of biological materials like skin or leather or rawhide attached to them, there's not a lot of clues on, or cloth or linen of some kind gluing the boards together. There's not a lot of distinguished information on exactly how a Viking shield may have been assembled, but we can just go off of what we have, the restovers and the archaeological analysis of the residue on the shields, and so we can yeah, so that's yeah, shields, that's a good thing. I would like to make a shield. Actually, when I get sort of finished with the blacksmith shop, I'll have so much room to work in there. I think that'll be the wood shop, blacksmith shop, and call it the lounge. I don't know. I'll have a bed in there. I may even move the table and the bench in there and keep my throne in the other room and make that like a music, like an event. I would like to do live music. I would like to figure out how to do that. So that's I'm learning with all this technology as I go. So let's see what we got here. Let's see exactly. Greetings. Okay, greetings from Ireland. Oh, it's a really beautiful place up there. I may want to someday maybe go visit there. There's so much history. I have a bloodline from up there. Actually, from my dad's side, I have Native American blood, Irish, English, a lot of Germanic blood, and there's some like northern something else from like in between Scandinavia. I wasn't sure. So I have all the war-driving civilizations of history running through my veins. Maybe why I have such a bad temper. Yeah, Stone Wolf Outdoor. I agree. I just got to keep doing what I love doing. I tweak a little bit with the titles. I have what's TubeBuddy, and I try to use that as a tool to make the titles match the search algorithm a little bit better. And sometimes I search a title and then I make a video to that title. Sometimes I just film what I want to film and I go search for a title that somewhere makes the 70% mark or higher. And I just I try that out for a while. It seems to not be doing a difference, but we'll see. Yeah, history is being erased on purpose. Yeah, that's why I'm always doing my own research as far as I have the possibility. Like I go to the museums, I look at things, I photograph them, I sketch them down, I do like an air measurement because they won't let me touch the original piece, but I can do a rough estimate of the size and shape. And just because, now here's the thing, just because a piece in the museum has been found just like that, that doesn't mean every single knife, fire striker, whatever not was made exactly like that. That was just one that somewhere got lost or buried with, somehow, and that happened to be the one they found that's left over. There were thousands of those kinds of artifacts being used during that time. And I think that's where we go too much down one road with our the Scheuklappen, we call that. And we put on the blindfolds and go, okay, this is the archaeologist is based on history. This is, well, if they had one like that, what's to say they wouldn't have one that looks like this or that? And, so it's really a little bit of an idea every time I make something cool. And it's like, well, that's not an archaeological find. Well, okay, I make an Oseberg lantern. And even the Oseberg lantern wasn't 100% complete when they found it. So it's open for interpretation in the first place. But basically, it's any little bowl with 2 or 3 fingers on it and twisted pole. And they come out beautiful and they're always a hit. They sell, but they're a lot of work. So if I can mass produce them with a couple of jigs to make all the parts real fast, That'd be awesome. But the hardest part to find or make is the bowl to hold the wax. Either I use the best way to do is go find something that already has the shape and just recycle it, or upcycle it would be the correct word, I guess. Oh, I'm gonna paint my van like a Viking boat. That'd be awesome. I get pulled over every day, and I try to avoid that because that's not fun to be pulled over and stressed about why my car is all painted. But if someone were to do a really awesome professional like graffiti, like an airbrush, that's the word. Yeah, then I'd think about it. But otherwise, it's I'd like to have a sleek, one color, really nice condition looking vehicle on the road. Doesn't draw too much attention. Yeah, Stone Wolf Outdoors. It's the shields were actually, they weren't flat. They had a very, 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 very slight convex to them. And that's because the edges of the boards were shaved extremely thin, and they tapered up to about 8 to 10 millimeters in the center and all the way down to almost 6 millimeters at the end. And then you have the shield boss, which was attached with nails, and it was clinched over in the back onto the handle or riveted on with some washers of some kind. And the purpose of that was that if the shield took a blow, it would act as a spring, and it would absorb that energy and just rebound it instead of take the blow full on and absorb the energy in the form of kinetic energy to break the shield. So that's really cool. Aspect of the shields that were found in a lot of places that were made very similar to that, what I just explained. Yeah, Nick, I know that's Braveheart. Of course, William Wallace, Mel Gibson, the actor playing that role. Very good movie. I love that. Very good piece of history, and I like how he played that. It's one of his best roles. Stone Wolf Outdoors. You have a great video on a Viking tent. I'm going to check that out when I get off the YouTube here. I really want to check that out because Viking tents, that was my thing for the first 2 years. And I went through tents like no tomorrow. And those things are expensive. I mean, those tents must have cost me a quarter of what I've been spending now on the Viking camp up there. The tents, they're nice to have, but they're not very roomy. And they are expensive. And the mice eat the cloth rots. Anything you hang in there in the winter starts to mold. Yeah, that's kind of a thing. It's nice to have when you go to like a fair or like a meeting or like an event, set up your Viking camp. That's really cool. But otherwise, I would prefer, if I had the choice, not to use a tent at my place again. Just maybe for decoration purposes of some kind. If for some reason, I still have all the tent frames. I just have one. My market tent is in the basement. It requires some repairs, and I can't find anybody to do it. I need to throw it in a humongous wash machine, and then I need to have someone sew new loops on for the tent pegs, and I want someone to patch the holes in the roof or holes in the side of the tent. Let's see what we got here. Thumbs up. Thank you very much. That's we got 16 thumbs up. That's pretty good. Yes, Ireland unfortunately has become a colony of the woke EU. Yep. Yeah, that's terrible. It's not much different in Germany. It's in Germany it's a real big thing. You don't talk about your German history. It's just you just get let me hold on. What is here we go. Boop. Yeah, so it's just a thing. And me being an avid World War II collector, I know not to talk about that. I know what I know, and I let all the other people just one thing about history is that no matter what people say or do about it, no matter what opinion people have about it or what feelings they have about it or where they think they feel about it or politically or not, history is history, and it should be left exactly there where it is. It's in the past, and it's in the past for a reason. That today is no longer the way it is. So it's a thing that a lot of people nowadays fail to wake up to. A lot of the modern day political people, they stick to, you know, all the radical left and radical right and this and that, and you know, that's one reason no one's ever going to come down and sit at the table and say, let's make this right. Let's just do all these good things instead of hate each other and hit each other, try to cancel each other, and nothing ever gets done. Waste all this energy, consume resources and time, and you know, keep blackmailing each other until eternity. That's how politics works nowadays. And you got the media working for all the sleazy scumbag politicians who want to do what they'd like to do. They just it's like their instrument of destruction, I like to call it. Okay, Liam, I'll see you later. Thank you for tuning in. I don't think I've ever seen you on the channel before, so welcome, and I'll be glad to see you next time, or leave a comment under one of my videos next post. So stay safe and see you soon, everybody. Erifug, what is your opinion on trolls? Now, trolls as in the ones that come in the chat and leave silly remarks, or you mean like the ones that live under the bridge, like the mythological figure of that nature? I'm not quite sure. As far as trolls that are in the chat, they don't bother me. They can be there. And now if it gets out of hand, of course, I have to do something about that. But yeah, YouTube doesn't care. For me, it's all watch hours, them writing nasty things in there, making comments. YouTube sees interactions, watch time. And if it gets too bad, then of course I have to do something about that. Oh, Dutch line prepping. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think they would. It's not illegal here to paint my car like with the airbrush or painting. It would just draw way too much attention to me. Everybody would know, look at that. That's that guy right there with the Viking ship on this. And I don't want that. I just want to drive my white van down the road, and they're like, there's a white van. There's another one. There's another one. So it's a common vehicle around here too. So it's like really, really incognito. There's another one. So it's a common vehicle around here too. So it's like really, really incognito. I like that. Yeah, Wolfbane Hollow. I agree. But a big eye opener now is in the Ukraine for Germany. That's was a big eye opener for Germany, because they noticed now that oh my, we have no military. We might need that again someday soon, and we just can't pull that out of our sleeve. We need to. It takes 10 years to build a good military. It takes about 10 years. You need the experienced older generations to train the newer generations so that they can gain rank and gain combat experience. And then you need the most modern technology, and you need trained technicians and soldiers to run that modern technology and have combat experience with it. And it takes about 10 years to develop that kind of base infrastructure in a military. And then you can say, okay, every 5 years they upgrade or downgrade or whatever. But right now, Germany's military is in poor shape. That's straight up. And now they want to give up all these weapons and tanks and whatever not to the Ukraine. And now they're talking possibly even soldiers from the Bundeswehr. I was angry when I heard that, because you know, if we don't do anything, I agree, we need to do a little bit to help out the Ukraine, because if we ignore this problem, this war could be here in our front door, you know, affecting us in many different ways, not just you know, foot soldiers on foot, but in many different threats that indirectly affect our well-being, our lifestyle, our health, our happiness, and our freedom. And so, okay. All right, Artifolk, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you later. And stay safe and see you soon, buddy. So it's important that we react and we look at the right perspective to that situation because we really don't know what's going on. I don't trust that guy Sidlinsky. He's a I think he's perspective to that situation because we really don't know what's going on. I don't trust that guy Sidlinsky. He's a I think he's a fool. He's an actor. That was his job before he was elected president. Somehow he was an actor in TV. And I really Putin. There's not much to say about him. It's absolutely wrong what he's doing, and therefore people are dying. Not just Ukrainians, but civilians on the Russian side. You know, people that are forced to fight, and you have Ukrainians, civilians, and then you have the media. So you don't know what to think. They're showing you things. I've seen some of the media pictures where Zelensky is standing there in a t-shirt. Yeah, we're fighting, on the ground, hands on. I'm like, dude, you're sitting there in a t-shirt. You're clean shaved. You don't have a speck of dirt on you. The guys next to you, they're all armed up, and I've seen, and I don't get it. I don't get that guy. So. Oh, Greg. Oh, yeah. I see the joke you guys made. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. That's funny. Klaus Schwab. Yeah. You will owe nothing and you will be happy. Yeah. I have a big, I have one of these here. Actually, if I could wind them both up at the same time, but I can't do that. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a different thing. Yeah, I've seen that Dutch lion prepping. I've seen that. Yeah, so that's why I don't and hello Hot Past 79. Welcome. Actually I need a drink in my drink here. Skull. Yeah, so I've seen that is correct, Wolfbane Hollow, and we can't allow the ignorance to overrule the common sense in society and affect people to the point where they'll give in to all of that nonsense. So what was you talking about? Yes, Zelensky. So we definitely need to help out where we can. But flooding Europe with more refugees isn't going to do any good. I think the whole thing is kind of somewhere. I think something is wrong. I don't know. I can't know for sure, and I don't want to speculate or come up with a conspiracy. But I'm looking at it with common sense, and I'm looking at this picture. And I have a lot of military tactical experience and a lot of understanding of how war works. And I'm not seeing on both sides, not seeing the military, the outcome that I would have expected out of an attack army like Putin and a defense line like the Ukraine. I'm not seeing the cause and effect that is it to the force. What do you call it? Force demeanor. Now the Ukraine is getting a lot of support from the EU, from NATO, and from all the civilians that live there, which I think is awesome. That the civilians are standing up and they're picking up arms, men, women, and I think even younger. I don't know what the age limit was, but it's. I think that's a good model to look up to. Is if your home is being invaded and you can stand up and fight for people who can't, and you're not in the military, but you're able to hold a gun and understand what it means to defend your home and the people that you love, And then, that's the thing. And then I can also understand the people that also want to get out. That's of course, you want to get out you want to get away from war. It's definitely not a thing that you want to experience in your life. But it's a thing. That's where I have a little bit of respect for the Ukrainian civilian, for the people that that's really a thing, I guess. But war is always is never good. So it was, I missed the half of the conversations here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, hello. Good evening, no one. Glad to see you too. Yeah, I was a little bit later today because I wasn't actually planning to make a live stream, do a live stream. But I decided, I sat down here and had all my chores done, and I was working on the camp for late, and I had to go do some errands and pick up some more supplies. I was like, you know what? Let me tune in to see who's going to make it tonight. And I'm having a real good time with you guys today. There's a whole bunch of people actually showed up, so it's on. Let's see how long we want to hang out here tonight. The thumbs up, yeah. 21. I think we broke the record. I think 26 thumbs up was the record. I'm not sure. Which is like, if I look at other people's channels, 26,000 thumbs up. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I probably bought all those on eBay. Well, yeah, I don't know, Nick. I'm not a big fan of religion in the first place. I think the Norse mythology and the Norse way of is more of a way of life than a religion. And a lot of the things that are incorporated in the Norse mythology are incorporated in your everyday life, in how to put things in perspective, different situations, how to relate them to one of the figures of Norse mythology, to identify yourself with them in order to cope with some kind of situation, or to gain some kind of courage, or to understand the situation better, or to be able to put yourself in the shoes of a certain character, to be able to gain some kind of mental or physical condition to be able to perform a task. And I think there was a very dark time, the Viking Age. It wasn't all happy, nice. Actually, there was nothing happy and nice about it. It was a very dark time. People quite often starved to death in the middle of spring, because that was the hardest time, where you had no food. And disease and war was a constant threat. I mean, it's a constant threat. You wake up in the morning, you'd always have to worry about, every day. And I got my birthday's coming up here in May now. I turned 38, I think. Not sure. And I wouldn't be alive back then. I'd be an old fart if I was. I'd be old. It'd be like being 100 years now almost. Because you didn't get old back then. That's why they were happy to go on raids and go to Valhalla, and they don't want to die of old age in a bed. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know much about how that Christian thing goes there. H minus 4 p.m. in Detroit. 4 in the afternoon. Okay, it's I don't know what time it is now here. It's evening. Let's see. It's 10 o'clock in the evening. 10 p.m. here in Germany. Violence is life. You're absolutely correct. There has been so much evidence now that the Ukraine is a politically corrupt country, and we know that. And Trump knew it, and they basically bashed him down for saying that. And now it's just obvious, because a lot of the money and materials that have been donated to support the Ukrainian defense against Russia have been intercepted at the first point, and weeded out and sold or used as some kind of other resources, other illegal activities. And the end product, it was only like 30% of the actual real source donation arrived. And now they found this out by having people that were coming in Poland and Germany, people that were leaving the country of Ukraine. They were carrying suitcases of millions and millions of dollars. And when they researched where this money was coming from, it was laundered from all of the materials that were donated, that were donated to the Ukrainian refugees to support the onflow of people leaving their homes. And they sold it to these people. And they sold the ammunition and the weapons to whoever else, but they didn't get to the defense line. And so they're finding this every day. And this is from firsthand. I have this from my buddy Sage. He's down there. He knows the people, and so it's just like ridiculous. But you don't see it in the news because they don't want you to see that. Wolfsbane Hollow. Yes, old skills are skills and knowledge are a great what do you say, and make your weight worth in gold. I'm gonna take this helmet off now because it's frying my head. I feel like Darth Vader. Okay, we'll put it over here. That's much better. Wow. All right, Dutch line prepping. See you soon. Eat machine skull. Yeah, I usually don't drink too much alcohol. I have to be real careful I don't do that because I have a lot of responsibility. But when I'm at home, I'm not getting in the car. I have a couple beers, playing my tank game. I'll relax, chill out. Skull. Yes, Nick, I agree. And if you look at history real closely, the last 100. Yes, Nick, I agree. And if you look at history real closely, the last 100 years have been repeating themselves quite clearly here now in the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years. So what's politically follow the money is basically all you have to do. So we'll see. The tinfoil helmet is worth 50 times its weight in gold. Yeah, well, if this was gold, I don't know. It probably wouldn't even be 2 ounces, maybe. Not even. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 ounces because it's not very heavy. Yeah, I think so too. Yeet machine. It's good to chill out a little bit. I usually like to chill out in the bathtub, but I don't know if I want to do that tonight. Oh, Gary, is that true? I don't know. See, I haven't followed the news too much to see what's been going on. Did I miss something? Bob, they say that with age comes wisdom. I seem to have lost mine. Well, I think your sense of humor or your good character probably overtones that, and you fail to notice that you have quite an amount of wisdom. You're just more easily distracted with other things. Oh, you did make a helmet, Stone Wolf Outdoors. I think I was thinking about doing one. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be definitely one of those projects that I could do, but I don't like doing rivets. I mean, it's just something I don't like to do. There's like 500 rivets on a helmet like that. Okay, let me see what we got here. We got some people ask questions. Coffee. Yeah, I'm not a coffee guy. Vanessa drinks coffee. When she fires up the coffee machine in the morning, I have to leave the house. I think it's disgusting. Smell the coffee. I can't do it. It's just gross. But yeah, gold standard for a reason, perhaps silver standard for our liking. Yes. Well, let me tell you something real quick about that. My opinion to that is, I believe if you can afford it, gold and silver, precious metals, you know, you can afford to buy a handful of silver, of junk silver, which would be circulated coins, worn circulated coins of any type that are available in your country or in your area, because you want to get the most cheapest price for the greatest amount of silver. And what you also want is that you want, wherever you are in the world, you want something that people can identify. If you're in United States and you get all these old Swedish francs, people are going to look at you like, what the hell is this? I don't know if this is silver or not. They're not going to trust it. And in a case where you need to use it, it's not going to be very effective to barter and trade with, because people won't identify with it. Here in Germany, so being half American, half German, I use the best of both worlds and a little bit of in between. I got a lot of silver coins that are circulated junk silver from a lot of the older French currencies, some of the Austrian currencies, the real old ones, but they're more worth in collector's value than they are in silver. So those are kind of not my favorite. I especially like half dollars. I love half dollars. And I have a whole bunch of half dollars and dimes. I have a big bag of silver dimes. Quarters are one of my favorites. And on the German side, I collect the old World War II 5-mark pieces. Now, I can't collect them anymore because the price for those have gone up so dramatically. I used to be able to pick up like a bag of old World War II change and pick out like 2 or 3 handful of old 1 mark, 2 mark, and 5-mark pieces. Even the real old, there's some of the older 50 pfennig pieces had silver in them as well. And yeah, so I have a couple nice stacks of those too. But because being in Germany, marks that's an old currency. People still, yeah, 5 marks. People know what that is, So yeah, but silver, if you can afford it, every paycheck, go buy an ounce of silver, 1 coin, and just put it in a real safe place and do not tell anybody about it. If you do that for a couple of years, you have yourself a real nice little stash of valuable money. And if you can afford gold, definitely go for it, because they make gold in these chocolate, like it looks like chocolate bars, where there's 1 gram pieces that you can break off, and you can buy it or you can actually purchase it in those sizes as well. If you can't purchase, a full ounce or a full half ounce gold coin, which will cost you about $1,000, so if you get a whole full ounce of gold, it's $2,000 at the moment. The thing. Let me see what we got here. Oh, we got a lot of comments here. No one, sorry to ask again, what is my opinion of Ivar the Boneless? Is it a giant or a disabled dwarf? Well, there's not a lot known about him other than the fact that they thought he had, there's a couple different theories on that. Well, they thought one of them is that he was a big coward because of one situation. I read the story once. I can't quite remember. The other one is that he had some kind of problem with his manlyhood. Let's put it that way. And they would look at him. That's what they called him, the boneless as well. And that's another reason. I'm not a big fan of his sagas and stories. Me personally, I'm a big fan of Ragnar Lothbrok. Way before this big thing on the Vikings, I think it's just cool that he sailed across the ocean and said, "Hello, Christians. We're here to take all your stuff, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it." So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I think that's he's got a lot of cool hype about being like one of the first Viking rock stars. And that's where I kind of like that. Yeah, grow old but never grow up. That's right. So boys will always be boys. They just get bigger toys. I've heard that before too. Simon Adon Bjorn sent me. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it to the live stream. It's glad you could hang out with us here and be part of the Berserker gang. And hope to see you more often. And I'm gonna watch out for your name now under all my videos. Oh, I gotta hurry up and read all the comments now. It's going way too fast. Lac Plessis. I hope I got that right. I don't want to butcher anybody's name, but some of these are a little bit difficult if you don't read them twice. My garden is 50-50. That's a lot of work. And Vanessa will be returning tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be probably working on that a little bit Sunday afternoon. We have an event we'd like to go to on Saturday evening. It's going to be like a medieval festival with a lot of cool stuff there. I will probably be taking my laptop and my streaming equipment with me. And depending on, I'm a little afraid that I might use up all of my minutes on my device over here that I have for temporary use to be doing mobile streams. But I can take the laptop with me, and then maybe from the back of the van, because we'll be sleeping in the van if we do, excuse me, we do go, we'll be sleeping the night there because we're going to have a little bit of fun there. We're going to go check out all the cool craftsman trades, and hopefully the guy that brings his bees that sells the mead, he brings his bee colony. He's got like a trailer, and they sit in the side of the trailer, and he opens them up and lets them fly around while people are buying mead and stuff. It's pretty cool. And that's how I actually got inspired to start keeping bees myself, from that guy. And he actually took the time to kind of show me around what it means to be a beekeeper, and kind of opened up some doors from that guy. And he actually took the time to kind of show me around what it means to be a beekeeper, and kind of opened up some doors for me into that direction, which was pretty cool. And it got my mind set in the right direction to do that properly. Yeah, violence is left. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find. Well, I don't know if he disappeared from history or not. I don't really know that much about him. I'd really have to look into that, because even though we're talking about the real character in history now through the TV series, I was never fond of that guy either. I really did not like him. So it's like he's like in the shadowy area of Viking Age history that I don't ever go, because I don't know. It's some things that just not interest me. Lead. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of lead, but unfortunately, I think I'm going to be probably taking that to the scrapyard for less than I traded for here. But we'll have to see. I'm working on copper right now. I'm trying to do a good deal with copper. I'm trying to find the right price for copper, right source to get some good copper, and hang on to that for a little bit until see what the price is doing with all this electric cars and electric this, that, and the other coming out. They're going to need a lot of copper, and the price is going to soar sky high, and I'm going to have a lot of it, and that's when I'm going to sell all of it. And then I'm going to buy a bunch of silver and gold with it, or dog food. Yeah, Wolfbane Hollow. I agree that printing too many dollars is very critical. If you look at history, it's exactly what's happening in the end of the 20s, beginning of the 30s, where we had the crash after the Roaring 20s. It's exactly what we're steering towards right now. The only difference now is that the dollar is so much more widely dispersed in the world economy than it was back in the 30s. That's the only big kind of buffer that the dollar has at the moment, but that's not going to help for very long. Oh, thank you, Simon. That's very nice of you. My bees, Bob. My bees are doing well. I managed to go and get 2 new colonies this weekend when Vanessa and I drove about an hour drive from here, and we looked up on the local eBay classifieds. There was a guy. He was quit beekeeping. He had 2 colonies left. A real nice, strong colony on two stories of 2 boxes, and one that's kind of smaller. He said it's real weak. It's not too good. I got it home. I looked at it. It's still 10 times better than the little colony that I'm worried about that I have that survived the winter. So now I should have about 4 colonies going, maybe 3. I have to see what I'm going to do with that weak colony. If they don't pick up the pace a little bit, I'm going to have to get rid of the queen and start a new bee split from what's left over. But Vanessa started we made a bee split for her first colony. That seems to be going well so far. We just have to leave it now for 3 weeks, and then we'll open it up to see if there's a queen, brood, and an army of fresh little happy honeybees in there. And then we'll have another colony. That'll be Vanessa's own bee colony. Yeah, the TV show confuses everything. Although I must say I am a big fan of it because I enjoyed watching it. It was a lot of I just enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the action, and it was something to sit down and just it was very entertaining. Had nothing to do with history really. Bees are the best. Yeah, they're a lot of work, and it's like owning. I can't compare it. Bees, you keep it's like a fish tank almost. You have a big tub of water, you have your fish in there, and there's always all these factors that you have to factor in. If one little thing isn't right, that's it for the fish. So it's a big thing, and different fish need different things. It's like the bees too. You have to watch from bee species to bee species. They have different problems and needs that they have, and so that's but it's a fun thing. It's a fun life experience that I wanted to try out. One of my things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm really enjoying it a lot. As long as it's working, as long as the weather isn't killing all my bees, and Varroa mite isn't killing all my bees, then it's a fun thing, And yeah, you're doing something for nature, but it's a farm animal. It's a domesticated farm animal. It's no longer the wild honeybee. It's a domesticated farm animal. And if you want to get bees, you need to know enough on how to take care properly of the bees so they won't get sick, spread disease to possibly wild bee species or your neighbor's bee colonies, because then they can sue you. They can trace that back actually genetically where the disease came from. And then that's why you have to have big insurance as well. And so there's a lot of things you need to know. And that's why it's not just let's go get a bee colony and stick it in the backyard and every once in a while look inside. No, it's weekly, and almost I would say sometimes I have to do 2 or 3 times a week. I have to pay very close attention to what's going on in front of the bee colony, what's going on. I look in the top, I open the lid, and I just kind of watch how many alleys are full of bees. Are there bees in there at all? Are they active? What's going on? And then once a week at least, especially during swarm season, I have to open up the bees and take the box apart. Where's the queen? Well, we got brood, we have eggs, we have young maggots, we have large larvae is the right word. We have male bees, and then I have to see if the bees look okay, if they have any kind of signs of crippled wing disease, or it's a lot of things, but it's I like it, and I'm set up very professionally now. I have a bee workshop. I have everything I need in that container that it's right there, and Vanessa. She's bringing me buckets of ivy. So we're going to give the container a little bit of a green look. So hopefully it'll grow ivy all around it, and you won't be able to tell it's a container. That's the goal. It doesn't fit very nicely into the Viking camp, aesthetics, but it's something I needed to have, and it needed to happen. And so for the bees for me to be efficient at beekeeping, I needed to have that. So that's, yeah. Let's see what we got. Yeah, metal. Yeah. Metal's a good, you drive. Okay. Uranium, yeah, unfortunately it's radioactive and you're not allowed to own it. At least not in Europe. And it's not so easy to get into the country if you do try, so it's not something I want. Yeah, wasps. You don't mess with wasps. Wasps are disgusting. They sting you and they sting you and they sting you and they sting you. Mm-mm. I don't like them suckers. Nick, yeah, I think Joe Rogan is a real interesting person. I like watching his show sometimes. It's a shame that Spotify got a real kick in the butt when they kicked him off. You know, Joe Rogan could start a new channel, he could start a new company that does a website just for himself that does podcasts and put Spotify out of business to shame. But I think in one aspect, he's very careful and he's very tactical on how he proceeds from here. And I think that's really cool. But I do like how Joe Rogan invites everybody and just wants to see, you know, what is its why and how, and to understand the other side a little bit. Maybe even take a little bit of each conversation, each interview, take a little bit of something away from there to have a better understanding of yourself and the world around you. And that's why I like Joe Rogan. Heavy water. Yes, it's a good thing to have. Hmm. Skull. That's good. Bob, you should support. You should always try to. It's real important to support your local farmers, your local agriculture, your local anything that you need. See if anybody near you makes it in your town or the town next to yours or very locally. Don't go to the supermarket if you don't have to buy, you know, your vegetables. We have a potato farmer here. Our town's actually known for potatoes. We're one of the, you know, it's just like our farmer has like the potato, you know, that he sells them to all the supermarkets around here. We have a lot of green supermarkets that actually go and they buy locally. They buy a large bulk and they distribute it within the supermarkets in that area locally from the district, which is really cool. So the supermarkets actually support the local agriculture. Like I'm not talking about the big supermarkets like I don't like the supermarkets, you know, like the big grocery stores. But this is kind of a really cool concept the way they do that there. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's very good, especially your honey. You know, you can talk to someone about it. They may even take you out to the bees and show you, look at this. A big problem in Germany with the honey is that you know, everything is so extremely expensive. Keeping bees, I can tell you, you really have to have a heart for it because it's expensive. It's highly expensive. You need to have somewhere where you can, like a professional kitchen first off, to do all the honey work, like spin the frames and, you know, fill the glasses. It has to be sterile, like a kitchen environment. You need to have all the gear, and you need to have at least two sets or maybe three sets because you need helpers or you want to have someone over to show them. You need 300 boxes so that you always have enough supers. You need, for each box is 10 frames, so you need 3,000 frames. You need 3,000 sheets of wax, and that's, I mean, like just for this is just like my inventory. I mean, these beekeepers that have hundreds and like 200 bee colonies. Can you imagine? They need a like a football size stadium almost to put the supplies. But so I'm thinking, and it costs money, and then people complain €6 for a glass of honey, where I can buy that for €2 at the supermarket. Well, we go buy it at the supermarket, but it's not this. This came from hard work. This came from, I had to pay for that glass. I had to pay for the lid, all the honey in there. My bees labored to death to make, and I had to pay for everything. I had to pay all the chemicals to treat that. I had to do all the work on my time off from my regular 40-hour job to bring you this wonderful honey. And that's why it's €6 and not €2. And they don't understand that. It's a big thing. So a lot of beekeepers sell their honey for cheaper, which crashes the price. So when the neighbor sells it for $6, they go buy all the, you know, the guy next door gets all the honey. sold, and the person trying to just cover costs, he's gonna be sitting on 500 jars of honey. I guess it's a real big problem. Yes, that's right, machine. If you have some kind of pollen allergy or something of that nature, and you use local honey, that helps your immune system to balance out things and gives you a little bit of a boost to help protect you against that. Farmers market, Kenny Perry, those are awesome. We don't have too many. We do have those here in Germany, but the area that I live in is about an hour away from where they have all these farmer markets quite often. So it's not a common thing here in my area. Skull. Yeah, the honeybee. People think of bees; they think of honeybees all the time. Same way with me when I first started out. Now in Germany here, there are over 550 plus bee species. The honeybee only making up about 5 of those, and only about 50 of those 550 bee species are, if you were to put one of those insect hotels with all the straws and the holes, the ones you can buy at the supermarket where you can make, only about 50 of those bee species can use that to reproduce. All the other bee species, they need a certain type of wood that they drill holes in, and they lay their eggs in there. They use old mouse holes or old abandoned tunnels from other creatures. And a lot of them, most of the other 500 bee species, somewhere find a place to dig in the ground. They use a certain type of ground burrow to build their nest. And so that's something a lot of people don't know. And to understand that, you really have to do some research. And then you need to figure out what kind of bees would I like to help. And then you have to do research. And then you can build what's called a sandarium. It's like a sand aquarium, or a little scenario where you have sand and you can put straws in it, and there's some certain things you can do to help protect very, very rare bee species or insect species in general, like butterflies or things of that nature. And so it's really difficult to just hear people think of bees good for nature. I think the honeybee is definitely a good thing to take care of because we really need them. But the wild bees is something that people kind of tend to miss. That's the big picture. That's the ones that we really want to try to take care of somehow, but they get ignored or misunderstood so much that they get just shoved off the picture. And not a lot we can really hands-on do for them other than take care of the environment, the forest. And if we know we have a certain species of wild bee, we can research and find out how do I help support the population of that wild bee. And you can build certain specific structures to help them make their nests. And that's really, I did a lot of research into that, and it's mind blowing. Especially the bumblebees, I like those a lot. And I bought a bumblebee hotel. That thing didn't work, so I was like, okay, why not? Well, and I started reading. Only bumblebees, there's like 50 species, and only about 10 species are even considered to even have interest in that. And then you have to do it just right time of the year and get really, really lucky to whatever. So I was like, whatever. I gave it to Vanessa. It's like, good luck. Try it at your place. So we'll see. Yeah, but bumblebees are pretty cool. I like them. We have a whole bunch at my place. And today there was like so many butterflies. There were so many butterflies I could not count them. It was so cool. Yeah, Kenny Parrott, that's actually correct. Honey, real honey, And you have to watch what's real important. Before you spin the honey in the centrifuge, you have to do a measurement of the hygroscopic measurement of the moisture, how much moisture is still left in the honey. If it doesn't have enough, the honey will turn to crystals and you'll never get it out of the glass. You'll have to like heat the glass every time. If it's too much moisture, the honey will actually turn sour, and it's disgusting. And you don't want that to happen. So you really want to make sure you're at the right call it humidity, I guess, before you go put it away. And it'll last a very long time. When you have real good honey, the thing to tell is if you let it sit for a while, like a couple of days or weeks, and you don't touch it, and you come back to it and it's rock hard, that's the real stuff. You just put it run it under some warm water, the jar, while it's closed. Run it under some warm water, let it sit in some warm water for 5 or 10 minutes, and that honey becomes loose again. And that's really good stuff. Yeah, Bob, candles we could make like in Germany here we have what's our for our bee frames, we have these wax sheets that we just solder in, with I'd have to show you guys that one day. It's pretty cool. There's a couple different ways you can do it to save wax, and some beekeepers don't even give the bees any wax on the frame. They just stick the frame in there. Here you go, and the bees build it. They build it beautifully, and there's some research that shows that if you let the bees build any wax on the frame, they just stick the frame in there. Here you go, and the bees build it. They build it beautifully, and there's some research that shows that if you let the bees build their own wax frames without any starting support, they actually build a better frame and healthier. The bees are in general more healthy if the colony is allowed to build their own frames. But that takes way too long. I have to feed them with sugar water so they get energy and they have enough, energy to do all that. Oh, hello, Bunny. Welcome. Yeah, Vanessa loves making them. I have a really beautiful one at the Viking camp. It's right up next to my special spot there for my. Yeah, I have a real nice one that Vanessa made for my birthday last year, and I prize it quite well. I make sure it's always perfectly good shape, and I have to cut some of the weeds this week, and I have to take the weed eater up there and trim some of the areas. They're getting too bad. Yeah, Wolf's Bane Hollow. Because it crystallized. Yes, it's the best stuff. That's the right stuff. He was throwing away. He was probably wanting that Chinese stuff that in the little squeezy bottles that you can get. Ugh. Okay, but yeah, that's a good thing. It just takes too long. See, it takes quite a long time for the bees to, and it takes them a lot of resources, a lot of energy. So what we do if we want the bees to build a lot of frames real fast, we put on an extra super, and we put a little bowl of sugar water mixed 1-to-1, so like 1 kilogram for 1 liter of sugar water. Well, 1 kilogram sugar for 1 liter of water. Mix that up. That's like an energy drink for them. So they'll have like all this boost to build real fast, and then they'll build up their frames. That's a little bit of a thing that we do, but I haven't really experimented with that much. I usually feed them with a higher concentration right before end of fall. If I see that the bees have no longer anything that they can fly out to collect, I have to start feeding them with I think it's a 2/3 mixture, so that they start packing frames up for the winter. Yep. Yeah, the little bees, they're so awesome. Hmm. Yeah, Pooh Boo Bear's over there. He's snoring like a chainsaw. Yeah, Bob, it's real interesting. You should probably spend some time over there and take a look. It's really fascinating. I was standing there today doing a quick little bit of B-roll for my next part two of the build there of video for the Viking blacksmith shop. Did a little bit of 5 minutes of filming. I had all the boards up on the roof now, and all the boards are screwed down, and I just have to trim the sides off now and get that foil up there, and then the roof will be up, and it will be hopefully sometime this weekend, which would be really cool. I have so many boards laying around. I'm hoping to close off the rear and the sides, and maybe even have the door built, the main door. The double door I'm going to leave open for until I'm all done and I have all my equipment inside. That's going to be the last thing I'm going to build is a double door. I have like a double barn door. I think you mean Dr. Jackson Crawford, if I'm not mistaken. He speaks, the guy that speaks Old Norse there. Actually, for the long screws for the roof, actually, I went one battery. At that D-wall I have is a pretty good machine, and I used a little trick my dad used to tell me when I was a young boy. We were building a big, massive table for my fish tank because we had a whole bunch of 2x4s laying around and bolts that he's been collecting forever. And he showed me some tricks. With a bar of soap, you soap up the drill bit so it doesn't catch, and then you soap up the bolts, and they go right in. So, yeah, I didn't even use up a full battery. Those DeWalt drills with the lithium ion, I like those. I have everything from DeWalt, that electric powered tools, nicely. Except my chainsaw, that's like highly professional gardening equipment. I have everything from Husqvarna. That's cool, Bob. You bring mead over and have them taste it. That's pretty cool. That's something I'd like to try this year. But like I said, for that to happen, I need some large quality of good honey first. And I think right now it's looking okay, but I don't want to put it too far. We still have like the beginning of May, end of April. There's a couple days in here that always come and hit that we have like a negative temperature again, and that might be really bad for the bees and for the trees and all the crops as well. But we'll see. Okay, Wolf Bane Hollow. That's pretty cool. I really hope to get back into firing up the forge. That's one of the things I still haven't figured out yet. Once I get the roof on, I'm going to have to figure out how to keep the smoke out. So that's going to be a big problem. So I'll have to figure that out somehow. I really want to put a duct over the forge and give it a long pipe on the outside, which will automatically cause a draw on the air, and that would be enough just to get that one of the forges started up. So that's the idea for now, but I'll have to build that because I can't find one that's cheap. I find one on the internet and they want $200 and it's 2 hours away. I was like, that's not worth my time. But that's I'm looking forward to that. Blades. No, unfortunately, I don't. Like I said, I'm not doing any work at the moment. And but if I do have anything for sale, once everything gets started up properly, probably looking the end of the summer. I'll be posting things on a website, and I will give plenty of time for everybody to know before I just go posting things, and nobody knows. Oh yeah, so I'll get plenty of time for you guys to go check out the stuff, check out the website before I go start posting all these things up there. Okay, S. Dellinger, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Yeah, but I'm really excited to get everything back in place. I'm still kind of dreaming about my 500 kilogram anvil that I shouldn't be looking for one because I'll get everything set up and then I'll find one that'll be like 2,000 euros and I'll have to have it. And there goes all my money for my shop build. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I can get that all squared away. Now I'm a little bit worried about how I'm going to get that pond liner on the roof. It weighs like 100 pounds. I'm not joking. I could barely tilt it up on its. That was. Yeah, no pressure, but I have it. I have to get it. I have to get it done. I have to get it finished because I'd like to. I said to myself, the beginning of this year will be nice. I'm not going to do any projects. I just want to relax and enjoy the blossoms and enjoy spring. And then I decided, okay, here we go. It was just one of those moments. I want this. I want the lumber. And then I didn't have the money. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a lot of wonderful donations came in. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're building a blacksmith shop this summer. So that's where this has gone. So I don't know if any of you guys are out there, but I'd like to thank everybody who has donated dearly, because without that initial bit of help, it would have not been possible to start this project. So, and I'm still finding it difficult to afford. Let me tell you that the boards were quite expensive this morning when I went to go pick up the last batch, and I think I'm at the end of my budget now for a couple of weeks until something magical happens or I get my next paycheck again to go blow that on some more boards. But I think we're getting to the point where I don't need too many more boards. It'll be more. I'm gonna have to get some more solid wood for the doors, and for the double doors. And then I have to figure out what do I want to do with windows. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Dutch line prepping, we already thought about that. That's a good idea. But the other side, there you can't drive around to do that. And it doesn't lift. It has something with the hydraulics where it won't lift a certain load. I have a pile of parts laying in the basement, and that's one of those things that just never gets done. Once this shop is kind of complete, I like to do some work on the skid loader. I have a pile of parts. I have all kinds of new solenoids, hoses, electrical, everything, and yeah. So I'd like to fix that thing up, and so it works 100%. But I'm thankful I have it, because I move that gravel and stuff. It's just Yeah. I have another project already planned for when I'm done with this shop. It's crazy. I already have another project planned, but we'll have to see. I'd like to do it next. I'd like to do the pre-work this year. I'd like to do all the pre-work for this next project. I don't know if I want to tell you guys yet what's coming up, because it'd be kind of a surprise. But I'd have to, cut the brakes a little bit, finish one project and let it kind of sink in. And then next season, I want to do another cool project. But I got to do a lot of my pre-work so that it's, it's not a big mess in the beginning. I could just start from point one. I don't have to first, backtrack 100 steps to be able to even get to the beginning of a project. That's already a terrible thing to do. Yes, the weather. Yeah, I used to not mind the weather, but I don't like the sun lately. I've been very beaten down by that. The sun I love the sun. When the weather is nice, it's awesome. But if I sit and stand in the sun for 5 minutes, it's just beats me up. I can't breathe. I have to get out. I have to go back I feel like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Like a vampire. Like a vampire. I think the way I'm going to do it with the pond liner to get that on the roof, that roll of material, I've already figured out a way. I'm going to roll it over. We're going to lift it up onto the higher ground behind the shop, roll it over to the ladder, lay the ladder on the roof, and just roll it up with 2 people onto the roof and rotate it and then unfold it. And since I can walk on the roof now, which is really cool, I can then move the tarp around whichever way I need it. I think that's going to be the plan, but it's going to require 2 or 3 strong people to help with that, without making it a painful endeavor. The sun makes you a raisin. Yeah, that's I have to stay out of the sun. Winter sun is the best. I kind of agree. I like the sun is out. It's nice, but it's not hot. But I do like the sun because it's good for my plants, good for nature, it's good for the bees, and so let the sun be out. That's not a problem. I'll just not go stand in the sun. Yeah, it's I know how that is. The heat can just bash you down. Okay, so let's see. We're on an hour and 30 minutes now. I'm thinking I'm going to it's almost 11 o'clock in the evening now. I'm going to my fireplace went out. Okay, I'm going to have to restart the fireplace. So I'm probably going to end the live stream here. We had an awesome chat. And yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping I've seen enough snow for this year and this late. We had that snowstorm the other day. Okay. Thank you, Kenny, for the announcement there with the thumbs up. Yes, YouTube needs to, if you click the thumbs up and you leave a comment and a like under a video, it will let YouTube know that you like that video and you'd like to see more of those videos, and YouTube will recommend those videos to other people to help promote that content. So thank you for mentioning that. Okay, guys. I am going to get ready to go to bed because I am tired. I need to do some chilling out, relaxing. Go give my little cuddly friend over there some love before the day's over, and maybe hit the bathtub. I don't know, just laying there and just kind of meditate till I'm wrinkly raisin. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Okay. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I'd like to thank everybody for their wonderful time. And like always, stay safe and see you soon.